Hey there folks, welcome to the channel and welcome to My Sandwich Obsession, where we take some of the world's most iconic sandwiches and recreate them here in our kitchen. In today's episode, we're going to be making the legendary Nashville Hot Chicken. There's only two prerequisites to enjoying this sandwich. You gotta love fried chicken and you gotta love spicy food. If you do, you're gonna love the Nashville Hot Chicken sandwich. Let me show you how to make it. The first thing we're going to do is focus on getting that chicken super flavorful and super juicy. So we're going to make a buttermilk marinade. We're going to add some Louisiana hot sauce, pickle juice. We're going to add some fish sauce into this marinade. This is all going to flavor that chicken. It's going to keep it moist and tender. We're going to put a couple of eggs, a little pepper, a little garlic powder. And if you're not taking notes, don't worry, because in the description box below, you can get a recipe. Now, once we whisk all that together, I'm going to come back and add some Carolina Reaper hot chili pepper powder. And this is the hottest chili on the planet. We're going to go ahead and add roughly about a teaspoon into this mix. Now, if you don't like it that spicy, you can tone it down. You could do ghost chili. You could do really whatever you want. You know, cayenne pepper if you want to go there. Whisk that well. And once you have all those ingredients combined, we're going to go ahead and start to add our chicken breasts. Now, our chicken breasts have been cleaned, so we're using boneless, skinless chicken breasts. If you have thighs, they work great for this recipe as well. Once you get that mix, we're going to put some cling film on the top and place it in our fridge overnight. You want to let it marinate at least 4 hours. Let's make some pretzel buns. In a cup with some lukewarm water, I'm going to add my yeast, salt, and sugar, and I'm going to give that a quick mix. We want to have our yeast active for this recipe, so that sugar is going to feed it. We're going to put a little cling film on the top, and while it's eating on that sugar getting active, we're going to set that to the side. We're also going to put some butter inside our pretzel buns. So I'm just going to take some butter, melt it, set that to the side as well. Let's get our baking soda ready. We need a high alkaline solution, and since I don't have any lye, we're going to go ahead and take that baking soda, put it into our oven, and bake it for 1 hour at 250 to 300 degrees. That's really going to give us a powerhouse of an alkaline solution. While that's baking, this is what our yeast should look like. It's going to be nice and foamy, bubbly. That means it's very active. And now it's time to go ahead and mix our dough. So in a stand mixer, I'm just going to go ahead and put some bread flour, add my butter, and then we're going to come back with the yeast solution that we just made. Once we do that, we're going to put the dough hook on and begin to knead it. We're going to knead this on a medium speed until it starts to form together. It's no longer sticky, and the dough is slightly springy. Once I take that out of my bowl, I'm going to go ahead and knead that a few more times just to firm it up. You should feel that your dough is relatively firm. When you form a ball with it, you'll know that it's ready, because when you press it with your finger, it'll bounce right back. Just like that. And that's exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to take that, put it into a bowl, cover it, and then let it double in size. Well, fortunately, my kitchen is relatively warm right now, so this process shouldn't take very long. What's cool about the pretzel buns is that you can actually make these ahead of time. You don't have to necessarily make them the same day you're making your Nashville Hot Chicken. This is what our dough is going to look like after it's doubled in size. And we're going to go ahead and take that dough ball and just place it right on our table and then punch it down. We want to flatten it out, get all the air out of it. Very easy, no big deal here. And after you've punched it down, you want to go ahead and begin to knead it again. Now you're just going to knead it until the dough ball firms back up. When you press it, that indentation will come right back. Once that happens, you can go ahead and form your buns. You can make them as big or as small as you'd like. I'm going to make mine relatively big because I have huge chicken breasts. And the way we're going to form our pretzel buns is relatively simple. We're going to take each one of those cuttings and fold everything to the very bottom. I'm also going to pull it towards me, creating tension against the table. That's going to tighten up the top and help keep the shape of our bun. And then I'm going to roll it around with the palm of my hand. Once I've got the shape that I'm looking for, I'm just going to take it off the table and put it on my seal pat mat, because we're going to let them double in size. Pretzels turned out to be a wonderful choice, but you could do sourdough bread, Wonder Bread, buttermilk biscuits, you could do waffles. It doesn't matter. In this case, we chose to do pretzels. Notice I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of flour so my cling film doesn't stick to it. And we're going to let that double in size while we get our pretzel bun solution ready. Now, do you remember that baking soda that we baked for 1 hour, 250 degrees? This is it right here. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to alkalinize that water, because to get that perfect chew, that perfect color on the pretzel, we need to boil our buns for about 30 seconds on each side in a high alkaline solution. Here, they've doubled in size. We've got our baking soda water solution now boiling, and we're now going to very gently, now we don't want to destroy the integrity of that rise, we're going to go ahead and place those into that alkaline solution for about 30 seconds on each side. This is what's going to give your pretzel its signature flavor, its chew, its distinctive color, and it's gonna be amazing. So this same process actually happens for bagels. There's no difference in the process of how bagels are made. Once you've got 30 seconds on each side, go ahead and transfer those back to your Silpat mat. And if you happen to have a sharp knife, go ahead and score the top of your pretzel bun. In this case, I'm doing just a couple crosses on the top, and I'm gonna salt them with the coarsest pretzel salt that I have. Pretzel buns are going to bake hot and fast, 400 plus degrees for about 20 minutes. When you tap on them after they're finished cooking, they should feel soft. They shouldn't sound hollow. And this is what our soft pretzel buns are going to look like. They smell incredible. They look delicious. We're going to set that to the side and get our hot chicken seasoning going. So the first thing we want to do is get our cayenne pepper, chipotle powder. Let's not forget about the Carolina Reaper powder. Pop that in there. We've got some oregano, some pepper, some garlic powder. We want to add a little smoked paprika, some cumin, and then some brown sugar, which is going to help balance it all together. We're going to give that a whisk, set it to the side, and let's take our chicken breasts that have been marinating overnight out of the fridge. You want to try to at least marinate this for 4 hours. If you can, it's going to really give you a nice, juicy, tender chicken breast. Take your chicken out of the marinade and go ahead and place that onto a drying rack. What I like to do is take a paper towel and lightly dab each chicken breast. I don't want them bone dry. I want them more or less tacky so that flour sticks to them really good. I'm going to lightly season these with salt and pepper while we get our all-purpose flour together. And all I'm going to do with our all-purpose flour is add a little bit of salt. Next, I'm going to take my left hand and I'm going to grab a couple of handfuls of that buttermilk mixture that we had earlier. And I'm going to just go ahead and drizzle and sprinkle that into my flour mix. And with my right hand, I'm going to mix that all together. Now that's going to create these crispy bites. That's going to add so much texture to your crispy chicken. It's almost going to be unbelievable. Take your chicken breast, stick it into that flour, and every time your chicken goes into the flour, you want to make sure that you squeeze that flour on there really tight. We're going to do a double dip method, so from that flour, we're going to go back to the buttermilk, and we want to make sure that that buttermilk is coating every single square inch of that chicken. No flour is showing, and then we're going to come back to the flour mixture one more time, squeezing it really good, making sure that flour sticks really well. We're going to take that chicken breast and go ahead and set it on a drying rack because we want to let that chicken rest for about 15 minutes. Now, allowing your chicken to rest after you've battered it is going to really enhance the texture, the crispiness. This is what your chicken should look like after you've gone through a double dip method. It looks ready to go. All of those little pieces are going to turn into crispy goodness. Let's get our frying station ready. Today, we're kicking it up a notch by frying our hot chicken in 100% rendered bacon fat. Now, you could use lard, you could use vegetable oil, whatever you want. I like this smoky element of bacon fat, and I think it's going to add a lot of flavor. I want the temperature of my bacon fat to be around 350 degrees, and I'm going to slowly begin to add my chicken and begin frying. Our chicken is done frying. As I'm pulling it out, you can just feel it with the tongs, how crispy the outer shell is. It looks incredible. We want to let it rest for about 5 minutes so all those juices get reincorporated into the chicken breast. And let's get our sauce together. We're going to take a couple of cups of this hot bacon fat, and you can use whatever fat you're using, and go ahead and add it to our seasoning mix. If your oil is hot, it not only incorporates the seasonings better, but when you toss your chicken in there, it's not going to make your chicken soggy. It's going to stay nice and crispy, and that's what we're working with here. So you do want to be careful because you're working with hot oil, but we're going to go ahead and just do a nice dip. I want to make sure I get all of those seasonings on every part of that chicken. Once I've got it fully coated, I'm going to set it to the side, and I'm just going to butter my pretzel bun. So we're just going to butter the top, butter the bottom. It's going to firm it up a tiny little bit, warm them up, but my bun is still going to be relatively soft. after just a few seconds with a little bit of butter. Let's go ahead and build our sandwich. Now we're going to take our spice mix and generously pour some on the top and the bottom bun. That bacon fat's going to get soaked up into the bread. Those seasonings are going to stay right on top. We're going to put that chicken right on top of that. And you know what? Why not? Let's add some more spice mix with some pickles. There you have it.
Here we go. Oh my gosh, look at that. It just looks awesome. Okay, let's see what it tastes like.
Wow. The Nashville Hot Chicken sandwich, absolutely delicious. And I gotta tell you, that Carolina Reaper powder is no joke. I mean, the heat starts in the back of the throat. It comes at you in waves. My ears are ringing, my eyes are watering, my face is on fire. And I love it. Coupled with a lightly toasted pretzel bun, chicken deep fried in bacon fat, super crispy. This is seriously one tasty fried chicken. I'm talking about wake you up kind of fried chicken. Let me know in the comment section below what you think and what sandwich you would like to see me make next. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, if you like this video, give it a great big thumbs up. Thanks a lot for being here. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.